Okay, guys. You're welcome to our first interactive section in Reach Your World Crypto Court. My name is Dave. If you are just joining for the first time, and today we'll be having a very interactive sections. And by the way, how are you guys faring? And how are you guys holding up while waiting for the BullFlag launch? You can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me? Okay, good. Okay, let's begin. Let me begin with a question, which is, um, how many people here have made losses in the past 4 days? How many of you have made losses in the past 4 days? And how and why did you make why how did you make your loss? I actually don't care about the name of the project. I just want to know how you made your loss. I know not everyone is comfortable talking on the AMA, so you can actually write it out for me. So I'll be talking about it. So how did you make your loss in the past 4 days? Okay, you FOMOed, and number two, you bought the top. Okay. Okay, Katie, how did you FOMO, by the way? Wait, you bought Doge? Oh, you bought Doge. How much were you expecting to make from it? All right. Yeah, talking about the FOMO, you know, chasing green candles is one thing that messes us up in this crypto space. Yeah, it used to happen to me back in the days. Yeah, someone talks about a particular coin, and yeah, it's pumping, everyone is buying it. You know, when everyone is buying it, that's the time you shouldn't buy. But I learned that very hard. It took me time to learn that I actually shouldn't buy what everyone is buying, because people are waiting for the position you're getting in for them to take profits. Okay, I'll be sharing. I'll just be talking a few things today. Actually, I actually wanted to cancel this section. I wanted to postpone till tomorrow, but then I already scheduled for today. So I'll just be talking about a few things very briefly. And most of the things are things I've spoken about before. How do you survive in this bear market? And generally in the markets, how do you survive? Firstly, I would say consider everything, consider every project, consider every token, no matter what you've heard about it, no matter what you've read about it, no matter what you were told about it. Consider every project a gamble until it becomes an investment. Before you get into any projects, before you get into any token, tell yourself one thing: I'm actually here to gamble. That's the first thing. You know, it's easy to say I'm investing in a particular project. You don't invest in what you know nothing about. Firstly, it is a gamble. It's only an investment when you are investing on the utility. When the project has an actual utility, then it becomes an investment. And no, you are not investing in the project per se, you are investing in the functionality of the utility. And if the project got no utility, if the project got no future, if there's nothing nothing solid that looks like, oh, this is going to keep the project in the future, then you're just gambling. Then you're just gambling. And until the project has an actual until the token has an actual utility, then it's considered an not just I repeat, an actual utility. A utility that's as good as you buying shares. You are Then it's considered an investment because you are now holding based on the fact that they have a utility that's going to be there for a long time. When I say utility, I'm not talking about staking or NFTs. I'm talking about an actual utility, like a real life wallet, like an actual app, not an NFT marketplace. I'm talking about something that's really actually going to be used, something that everyone would definitely want to be used. Until they got a real life utility, consider the project, consider it a gamble. And how do you treat gambles? How do you treat gambles? Roger in, Roger out. You don't spend time in gambles. You don't. If you ape into a project and you realize that the project turns out to be a gamble, in the sense that the project got no plan, no actual utility, or the utility they have is just staking or NFT marketplace, or uh, something regular, like just a game, just a regular game, and you make research on the team, and they're just people that just believe in pump and dumps. Trust me, before the next dump, sell on the pump. And the reason is, it's 100% gamble. The reason is, it's 100% gamble. Yeah, okay. Following BSC low tax call, always get me wrecked. That's probably because you keep buying the top. Yeah, future trading and NFTs wrecked me. Yeah, I used to trade futures until I stopped trading futures. Futures is 100% gamble. You know that, and you have peace of mind. Futures, the best way to die is by trading futures. Futures can actually sorry, hold on. Okay, so the one thing I always tell people: run away from futures. Run away from futures. See, the real money you're looking for is actually in shitcoins. What's the possibility of Bitcoin giving you 2x? What's the possibility of Doge giving you 2x? Yes, it could. But the real funds, the real profit you want is in shitcoins. But there's more risk in shitcoins. But there's nothing riskier than futures. And you should actually be responsible for whatever your outcome is when you trade futures. That's one thing. No matter what I'm told, you can't find me there. Futures wrecked me. I think there was one night I lost almost, I think close. It was between 200 to 300K in the blink of an eye. I think this was 2 years ago, actually. In the blink of an eye. And funny enough, I actually used stop loss, and it didn't work. These things are heavily manipulated. These things are heavily manipulated. You see what is happening in the market right now? CZ brought out its proof of reserve. It didn't ask other exchanges to provide their proof of reserve, but it was a bait. It was a trap. He actually used that to set a trap for other exchanges. That's the same thing they do in that's the same thing they do in every trading. Now, while everyone is buying, that's the time to sell, actually. Now, I'm actually going to raise another point right now, which is know when to quit and know when to cut losses. Some of us are emotionally inclined to some projects, that even when we know the project team as scammers, when we know the project is not doing well, the project got no future, just because we're probably in the loss, we keep buying the projects. See, sometimes it's better to cut loss than to lose everything. It's not every project is meant to be held. I know there's a saying, if you don't hold, you won't be rich. You can't be rich. But you see these markets right now, the number of projects that are going to survive these markets are less than 5%. How do you know the 5% projects? The answer is you don't. So when you see something going on in the market, and you know that you probably not get your money back, the project keeps deteriorating, and there's no good word from the team other than the bull market is coming, we're going to pump, other than making promises and telling you and saying JIT wrecked the project, but we're going to try to get it back up. As soon as the devs start giving excuses, run. If you can cut losses and run. If you can sell, sell. Because the little thing you have could actually save you a lot. The little thing you have, it could be your last money, and you don't even know how to sell it, because you think it's going to keep going back up. Sorry. Okay. So like I was saying, yeah, know when to quit. Not everyone knows when to quit, unfortunately. We're all, sometimes we invest in projects, and because we're in 50% loss, instead of us quitting the project, we buy the dips. And that's the point I'm going to discuss before we leave. Not every dip is a dip. Not every dip is a dip. Know when to quit, know when to cut losses. And if you realize that not every dip is a dip, it's going to save you a lot. Not when I say not every dip is a dip, what it means is not every red candle is meant to be bought. Not every red candle has a bottom. Not every red candle has a bottom. Not every dip is meant to be bought. Now you're in a particular project called SYZ, and the project has pumped to probably, let's say, 5 million. And suddenly you start seeing calculated faults from the team and from the dev. Firstly, you see the dev suddenly disappears and tells you it's trying to track someone that your Twitter person is saying things on Twitter or something, and people panic. That's then, when I'm in the projects, I think let me say it could actually be the team selling. It could be the dev. It could actually be the dev dumping the chats. I don't just rush to buy deep. No. I don't just rush to buy dips. I don't rush to dips because not every dip will recover. Especially if it's a gamble coin, a coin without utility, a token without an actual utility. What's the point of buying dips? Just cut your loss and walk away. Don't buy dips. Except it's a solid project. Don't buy dips. Run away from it. Except it's a solid project. Don't buy dips. And one important thing I'm going to say right now is, don't go back to closed trades. That's a killer. And that's one thing that's wrecked a lot of people, especially in this bear market right now. You see, the chances of a project surviving in the red markets is low. It's already hard enough to push a project when the market is totally red. And you got into a project, and you probably got in at the bottom of the project, and the project has pumped a lot. And again, the project got no actual plan. But then the project has pumped and you've made profits. Your 2 BNB has become 20 BNB, and you took out, let's say you took out 10 BNB or you took out 15 BNB and you left the moon bag. Mind you, let's say from 200 million market cap, the project hits 2 million market cap. From 200K to 2 million, the project hits your 2 NB turned to 20 BNB. Okay, smart guy, I've made some money. I'm not greedy. I'm not going to wait till the project gets to 100 million or 10 million. I'm going to take out my initials and take out profits and just leave a little moon bag. You said that to yourself, yeah? And then you take out 15 BNB. Your 2 BNB has fetched you 13 BNB. And you still have a moon bag worth 5 BNB as at 2 million market cap. Now, this is where it gets funny. After you sell, you see a lot of people panic selling as well. Okay, you sell and then suddenly it pumps. There are two things that happened here. Now, firstly, the project pumps, and you see the project pumping. It gets to 4 million, and the team releases something, and then they tell you, we're expecting. We just paid a very big marketer, and it's going to talk about us in the next 1 hour, in the next 5 hours, and the next thing you do, you sold that 2 million. You take your 15 BNB, and then you ape into the project at 4 million market cap. Why? Because the team has promised you that they got a particular person, a popular person that's going to be talking about the project, and the project is going to get flight instantly to 20 million or 50 million. But you know one thing about marketing, no one knows anything. No matter how experienced you are as a dev, no matter how good, how legit you are as a dev, you don't know anything. You don't know what's going to happen in the next minute. You don't know the outcome of whatever you're doing. You just hope that whatever you're spending your money on works. You just hope that whatever you're spending your money on pumps the project. But no one knows what's happening in the next minute. Now you've taken your profits, you've aped in back into the project, and suddenly the person that was paid makes a post, and just because a lot of people were expecting the person, the marketer, to say some bullish things, or the influencer or the celeb or whatever, to say some bullish things about the project, and the person posted, what happens regularly is the post comes and you see people selling the news. Just because there's no instant pump from the post, everyone begins to sell. What happens to you what happens to the profit you made? At this point, panic sells, everyone starts selling. The dev trying to cut losses from the funds he has put in, himself sells the dev wallet as well, and the project is back to 200K where you got in, or back to, or even below your end, which is 150K. And as at this time, you're already emotionally inclined to the projects that you can't sell. Even when you see the project going down, you can't sell because, oh, this means I've made 20 BNB. I could actually make 40 BNB. You took out profit, your 15 BNB profit you took out, you put it back into the project. The 2 BNB initial capital that you aped in, you don't even see it anymore. Why? Because you got greedy. See, once you take out your profit from a project, don't go back to that project. The only thing you should watch in that project is your moon bag. Don't ape into that project. And another thing that actually fucks a lot of us up is this. Now, you ape into the project at 200K market cap. And you got to 2 million market cap. You aped 2 BNB at 200K market cap. You got to 2 million market cap and you took out 15 BNB. And then after you took out 15 BNB, other people took profits because, yeah, everyone is up nicely, and the project start dumping. Sorry. Okay, See, sorry, I was take a call. You obtain 2 BNB at 200K market cap. Let me explain again. And then at 2 million market cap, you are up 20 BNB. And everyone starts taking profit. Firstly, you've taken out 15 BNB, you have 5 BNB left as your moon bag. Everyone starts taking profits. Everyone else, and the project starts dumping. And it keeps dumping, and the dev tells you the JITs are going to get wrecked. The dev tells you trust the team. Well, our buyback is going to be massive. And one thing you should know in this space is not every dev that promises buyback actually does buybacks. See, it takes a lot of discipline to do buybacks because it costs a lot of money doing buybacks. It takes a lot of discipline for a dev to put in money, to put in good, huge funds into buyback to get the chat back. Because the first thing the dev is going to think about is, what if this buyback doesn't work? It takes a lot of discipline. Not every dev promises that and delivers that. Only few devs in the space that does actual buybacks. And then, okay, fine. You did the what you call it, the chart crashes from 2 million to around 250, 300, 400K. And you look at the chart and like, oh, this is the bottom. Let me quickly ape in. And what happens? Firstly, at 400K deep, you ape in 5 BNB. You still have 10 BNB profit. You're still holding 10 BNB profits. With the hopes that your 5 BNB at when it gets back to 2 million market cap, your 5 BNB is going to be that's 4 and 5, 20, another 20 BNB, and the initial 5 BNB you left there as your moon bag is going to be 25 BNB. You take out another 20 BNB. So you aped in 5 BNB at 400K, and then immediately you aped in there was a 3K or 4K sell, and the chart went down firstly to 280K, and you're like, oh, good opportunity. I still have 10 BNB with me, and the next thing is you ape in another 5 BNB. That leaves you with just 5 BNB of your profit you've taken out. And then as you open the 5 BNB, the chart shows signs of recovery. It goes to around 500, 600K. You are happy. You start telling yourself, oh, glad I bought the dip. The chart is going back nicely to 200K. And suddenly a big sale comes, followed by another sale, followed by another sale, followed by another sale. And the chart is at 150K market cap, below your initial entry. And you're like, oh, I don't even need to wait for 2 million market cap anymore. Let me just ape him the last 5 BNB that I have with me, and at 1.5 million, I'm going to be in so much profits. And at 150K market cap, you ape in the last 5 BNB. Mind you, everything you are aping in, they are all the profits you've made from the projects. And as you ape in the last 5 BNB, Dev tries to pull in 1 or 2 strings. The chart pumps to around 200, 250K, and Dev goes to sleep. Everyone starts flooding. Dev, where's Dev? Where's Dev? Dev has sold. Dev sold. Team sold. Traces wallet. That's Dev wallet sold. Dev wallet sold this. Even if it's a lie, apparently, yeah, this is one thing that happens in space, yeah. And the next thing you say is a lot of, based on the frauds, you see a huge dump, and the chart dumps to around 80, 70K. This is you. That was up from 2 BNB to 20 BNB. You've taken out 15 BNB profits. You bought the dips, hoping that the dip is going to fetch you a lot of money. You kept buying the dips. And right now, you're now worth even less than 0.5 BNB. The dev wakes up at around 50K market cap, and it gives up on the project. Like, where do I start from? This project is dead. From we hit 2 million and we're back to 50K. Where do I start from? We've used all the major marketers, we've used all the major callers in the space, and they've called us already. And they wouldn't even want to call us because our chart looks dead. And even if I do all the buybacks, most people that have bought at around this 50K will just end up crashing the charts. Where do I start from? So you that ideally you are meant to have made a lot of money in that project, you end up losing, you end up being the stupid person in that project. Why? Because you chose to buy the dip. Why? Because you got greedy. You made a profit of you made your 2 BNB fetched you 20 BNB. You took out 15 BNB and left 5 BNB for Moonbag. You know the meaning of Moonbag? The actual meaning of moonbag is moon or dust. You take out your initials, you take out some profit, whatever you have left, let that ride. If it does well, fine. If it doesn't do well, fine. I'm no longer interested. If it goes to dust, no problem. But if it does well, yes, I still have some money in the project to make more profits, to make more money. But this money that I've taken out of the project, this money that I've made from this project is never going back to the charts. And a terrible mistake a lot of people make is they even sell off all their profits. Yeah. And when you sell off all the profits, they sell off everything. You know, when you make a money, let me say your 2 BNB fetches you 20 BNB, and you've taken out the whole 20 BNB. You know the best thing to do? Delete that Telegram group. If it's a Telegram, if it's Discord, just delete it. So no matter what anyone is saying, it won't get to you. They tell you, oh, the chart is recovering, the chart is doing very well, the chart is pumping, the chart is growing again. Oh, JIT get wrecked, JIT gets wrecked, JIT gets wrecked. That's the normal thing, yeah. JIT gets wrecked. I'm sorry for the JIT that sold. They're going to buy back higher. And then you see that popping on your screen, and you're like, what have I done? My 20 BNB would have been 40 BNB right now. And what you do is, you that has successfully made 20 BNB from your 2 BNB initial capital, you end up aping in your 20 BNB. And you know what happens? Your 20 BNB is someone's exit liquidity. Your 20 BNB is someone's exit liquidity, and you're gone, you are fucked, you are wrecked. So the bottom line is, don't go back to projects that you've left. It's just like saying, don't go back to your exes. That phrase actually works better in the space. It works better in this BSC space, in the Ethereum space, in this crypto space. That's the major place where it works. You sell the project, don't go back there. There are temptations to go back to that particular to ape in the deep. But as long as you've made profits already, don't, except you are buying another project entirely at the bottom, don't go back to that project where you've made profit already, except it's a solid project with a solid utility. Except it's a promising project, but as long as you've taken your profit, don't go back there. Don't. That's a very big mistake, and that's a trap. JIT gets wrecked. Yes, fine. Fine. I'm glad I made 10x. I'm glad I made 20x on the project. So why should I go back to the project? I've made money already. It's greed. And if you can't cut down your greed appetite, you're going to keep getting wrecked. Have you ever wondered why some of you don't make profit in the space? You ape into a lot of good projects, and the project does well, and you never even sell. The project does excellently well. You're waiting for the next 100x, the next 1000x. See, even though you are waiting for the next 100x, always take profits. You don't lose when you take profits. You don't lose anything when you take profits. Taking profit means there's hope for another day. Taking profit means there's hope for you to invest in real life, to make real life investments. And that's one thing we're going to jump into right now. I think I mentioned it in my previous AMA, in one of my previous AMA in the BullFlag community, and I said this: don't leave your profits in crypto. I'm glad a lot of people are actually learning the hard way right now, especially with the whole exchanges fucking up. Now, before you invest in a good project where you are sure of making profits, have a plan. And what's the plan? What do you plan to do with the profits? I can't invest in a project to invest in another project. No, that's stupidity. That's madness. I cannot put my funds in the project to end up putting in the profits into another project. No, it's wrong. It's fucking wrong. I can't invest in cryptocurrency to use the funds to use the profit to invest in cryptocurrency. No. That's where a lot of people get it wrong. That's where a lot of people get fucked. That's where a lot of people get wrecked. And let me explain this to you. Now, your initial capital, you started your cryptocurrency journey with let's say let me use the word 2 BNB. You started your cryptocurrency journey with 2 BNB. Definitely at the beginning of your journey, you're going to tread carefully. And what happens? You make your first 3-4 X's, and you're like, oh, this thing is actually beautiful. This thing is sweet. And then you're like, this 2 BNB has given me 6 BNB. Let me look for another project to open the 6 BNB. I'll be getting closer to making $1 million. I'm getting closer to making 1,000 BNB. And just because your 2 BNB gave you 6 BNB, the first thing you start calculating is how many BNBs away you are from 1,000 BNB. Oh, my 2 BNB gave me 6 BNB right now. I'm actually 994 BNBs away to make 1,000 BNB. So crypto is this sweet. And then you get another project, your 6 BNB, you open the 6 BNB into another project. And yes, as a newbie, you get lucky, your 6 BNB gets you 30 BNB. And then you're like, oh, I'm 970 BNB away from making 1,000 BNB. And then you look for the next project, and people tell you, don't ape in all your funds. You start hearing people say, ape in what you can afford to lose. But then you're like, you're lucky, crypto is your thing, you've learned it. The first 2 projects you aped in, you didn't get wrecked. You aped in your 30 BNB into a project at 30 million market cap, not knowing that 30 million market cap is the absolute top. Not knowing that 30 million market cap, it's where the people that got in that 1 million market cap or 500K market cap start taking their profits. And you get wrecked. And you get wrecked, totally wrecked. And then probably you are down again to 2 BNB and you start from the scratch. Rinse and repeat. And then you only tell yourself, oh, I've made money, I invested the money. You keep making profits. You keep turning the profit around the same cryptocurrency space, but that's wrong. Don't keep your profits in the same place you made the money. Have a plan. Have a plan. Have a plan for your life. Have a plan. Have an investment plan. And having an investment plan helps you actually make more profits, helps you actually make more money, and helps you actually guard your crypto investments. When you know that you don't have much money in your wallet, you guard what you have. Now, your first 2 BNB fetches you 6 BNB. You got lucky, you came into crypto for the first time as a newbie, you aped in 2 BNB and you got 30 BNB and you got 6 BNB. You know the first thing to do? The first thing to do is you take out your capital, take your capital to where you got it from. Take your capital back to your bank account where you got the capital from. The first step to take is to take your capital entirely away from the whole cryptocurrency space. Your capital has yielded you something. The first thing you think about is, what if you lost that capital? What if you lost your capital? You know how easy it is to lose money in this space? You know how easy it is to lose money in this space? Now, firstly, take out your capital and then put it back. Take out your capital and never bring it back. How do you trade to ensure your capital never gets back to cryptocurrency? Now, there is it. Now, your first capital, your 2 BNB, has fetched you 6 BNB, and you took your capital back to where you got it from. You probably loaned it from a friend, or you got it from your bank account, or whatever. You take it back. That money, just tell yourself that that money is not coming back to this. It's not coming back to the wallet. It's not coming back. It's not buying any crypto. It's not buying any crypto anymore. You've returned your capital. Next thing you're going to do is safeguard your profits. How do you safeguard your profits? Now, come up with a plan. Come up with a plan. What are the plans? Now that I'm able to make, now that I know that there's money in cryptocurrency, now that I'm sure that there's money in this thing called cryptocurrency, how do I make more money in this space, in this thing? And how will the money reflect in me? Sorry guys, a second. Let me take this call. Sorry. Sorry guys. The call was quite long. Sorry about that. Okay. Where did we stop? Sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Safeguarding
bro.
your
Yes.
profit.
Okay, so
And
where did we stop?
we should come up with a plan.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. So come up with a plan. Like, let me tell you how I do my things. Yeah, what makes it easier for me? I'm basically, I have the mindset that cryptocurrency is going to be a thing of the past someday, and I want everybody to trade with such mindsets. What if you wake up one morning and cryptocurrency is no more? With what is happening right now in the world, with what is happening in the whole crypto space, you should know that cryptocurrency has a lifespan. Believe it or not, cryptocurrency, with what is happening right now, even if we never believed it, cryptocurrency has a lifespan. So what happens to all the money you're making from this thing called cryptocurrency if one day you wake up and it's no more? One day you wake up and the whole and probably something happens to CZ. There's a lot of news, and the whole Binance is paused, it's frozen, and USDT is blacklisted, and BNB blacklisted, BUSD blacklisted. What happens? Okay, now I was explaining something. Now you first of all you take out your initial capital, and whatever the profit you have left. Firstly, before you proceed, you make a plan. Like what I do, you mustn't do what I do. I put in my profits into real estate, and the profits that comes out from real estate, I put it into agriculture. I have a farm. I have farms actually. So whatever I do, I make sure my profits are building something for me, and the profit that comes out from the sales of these houses, from rents, from from basically from the whole real estate stuff, the profit that comes out from it is going straight to my farm. I have a very large pig farm, and that's where most of my most profit from my real now the profit now except on emergency purposes, I ensure the profit that comes out from a cryptocurrency does not go to the farm directly, except it's an emergency, because I actually take real estate to be bigger in the future. I take real estate to be bigger than cryptocurrency. Real estate is a very big deal, and if you've never considered real estate, you should actually start thinking about it. Now, how do you do these things? You make profits. Let's say your first 4 BNB, you trade with it. Your 4 BNB yields you, let me say 10 BNB. Your 4 BNB now becomes 10 BNB. You know the first thing to do? You don't just look for the next project where you're going to ape in the 10 BNB. Take your pen, take your paper, draft out a plan. Now, this is something I want to achieve before the end of this year. I want to buy this particular property before the end of this year, probably on mortgage, probably on food payment or whatever. I want to achieve this particular thing. Firstly, I didn't say a car. Cars are actually liabilities. I'm talking about assets. I'm talking about real life businesses that's going to yield you things that's going to be beneficial to your generations. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you buying cars or taking your profit to the club to spend to lavish on weed, on drugs, on women, on less important things. No. Before you spend, you earn. And even while you earn, you spend the remnants on irrelevant things. While I was growing up, there's one thing my dad always taught us. He said, money is like humans. If your money gives birth for you, you don't just throw the kids away. The kids should give birth to other kids and let the generations keep springing apart around. That's how money should be treated. Your money should bear fruit for you, because now, if your crypto remains in your wallet, the tendency of buying rugs will be high. Now you make a plan. You say, by the end of this year, and mind you, it's not too late to make a plan. You are not just making money in this space to use just for temporary things. No. See, there's life-changing money in this space, but you won't know if you don't have a plan. Most times you make profits, but the profit you make, you keep jumping from one token to another token. You lose on this, you gain on this, you lose on this, you gain on this, rinse and repeat. The next day, the same thing. You lose on this. You use your trading bots to buy 10 projects, put in one probably 0.5 BNB into the 10 project. Why? Because you feel you made profits, and you start losing everything. But when you have a plan, even if it's not, it's there's no guarantee of not making losses, but you will be able to make less losses. How? Now you've drawn the map, and you've told yourself that you're going to you're going to make inquiry on a particular place that you like, not a very open place. Firstly, talking about real estate, um, if I buy, I actually build, mostly I build myself. Yeah, I'm actually a builder. I'm an engineer, and I actually call myself a builder, an interior decorator. Everything, I do everything myself. If I want to build, I monitor the building from beginning to the end. I get guys at work. I actually engineer my buildings myself, actually. Okay. So that's an advantage for me. Yeah. And the interior decoration, everything, I make sure I handle it myself. I actually don't like giving it out to anyone, because I got a very high taste when it comes to these things. So that aside, yeah, you make a plan, and you say probably you want to buy. And let's say you're going into lands. Now you don't just look for, because you're making money, you go to the expensive areas in your city to buy land. No. One thing about real estate is it keeps appreciating. So you don't have to go to the most expensive areas to invest. No. Invest in your financial level, your financial capacity. Invest according to what you have. Make a plan according to what you are making, according to what you are earning. You can't be earning probably 10K weekly or 10K monthly and have eyes on the property worth 5 million to buy the property, a $5 million property in 1 year or in 2 years. No. Yeah, it's good to have big dreams, but the best way to achieve your goals is firstly by planning, and planning within your financial brackets. Now, you probably have a property in view, and let's say this property is worth $100,000. Let's say it's worth 100K, and already you've made 10 BNB in this space. You've already taken out your initial capital, and the first thing you're going to do is, let's say BNB is 300. 305 is what? 1,005. You've taken out $1,500. You know what? You can actually get a firm that actually sells these things, and make sure it's legit, and you start paying instrumentally. You start paying little by little, and you pay your first 1,005. Trust me, because you are making payments for something, because you have real life investment, because there is something you are working on. You want to trade carefully before you buy any project. You want to make inquiries. You want to do a lot of research. You want to ask questions. You want to send DMs to be sure you're buying the right project. And then you take out the first 5 BNB. You still have 5 BNB there. You're lucky. The 5 BNB you got left in your wallet. You buy a project called ABC. Your 5 BNB gives you, let me say, 6x, and you make the 5 BNB turns to 30 BNB. Now, one mistake a lot of people are going to make is they take out probably 15 BNB and use the 15 BNB to trade. No, it's wrong. Now your 5 BNB was able to yield you 30 BNB. What makes you think that another 5 BNB won't yield you another 30 BNB? Now, the first thing to do here is take out, let's say you this time around you take out, let's say 26 or 27 BNB. Sorry, 24, 23 or 24 BNB. Let's say you take out 24 BNB. 24 BNB at 24 BNB at 300 is 7,200. You take out 24 BNB straight to your bank account, and then you go deposit it in whatever property you're trying to acquire, you're trying to purchase. Now, initially you paid 1,500, and this time around you paid your 24 BNB, you paid 7,200, and you still have 6 BNB left in your wallet. Your 7,200 plus the initial 1,500 you already deposited is 8,700. Your 6 BNB, this is what you're going to do. Split your 6 BNB into two. Look for 2 solid projects. Ape into the 3 BNB each on each of the projects. I repeat, solid projects. And now, why you're not aping the whole 6 BNB into one project this time around is because just in case something happens to the project, you don't lose your entire 6 BNB. Take it as you don't have money anywhere else. The 6 BNB, treat the 6 BNB as if that's all your life depends on. Now take the 3 BNB, go invest the 3 BNB in another project, the 6 BNB in 2 different projects. And let's say amongst the 2 different projects you invest the 3 BNB, one of them does a 5x, which is 15 BNB, and the other one rocks. Or probably you're able to cut, the other one fails, and you're able to take out, let's say, just 1 BNB. You lost the 3 BNB, you lost everything, and while the project was crashing, you quickly sold out 1 BNB. So your 15 BNB plus, you made 5x from the earlier from one of them. 3 BNB times 5 is 15 BNB, and you're able to just recover 1 BNB from the other 3 BNB investments. So that's going to have, we have around, we have 16 BNB. From this 16 BNB right now, you learned a very big lesson, a very crucial lesson. What is the lesson you learned? You learned that you can get rogged at any time. This has taught you that, Adibi, you knew you should have taken out almost everything you had and left just 3 BNB, or probably left just 5 BNB. Now, you got rogged in one of them, and now you were lucky to not have put all your 6 BNB into one project. You split it into 2. You bought 2 different projects with 3 BNB each, and you were able to yield 5x from one of the projects, and the other one you cut loss, and you're able to save 1 BNB. Now you have 16 BNB. At this stage, you've already paid 8,700 for whatever you're buying, the property you're buying for $100,000. And what's the best thing to do at this stage? You already know that it's unsafe leaving everything in one place. It's unsafe trading with so much money. It's unsafe because you are not strong enough to trade. You are not a whale yet. Don't consider yourself a whale because you've made 20 BNB, because you've made 30 BNB. No. Don't let the 20 BNB, the first 20 BNB you make get into your head. That's a trick. That's failure calling you. You've not made anything yet. See, you've actually not made money until you have a real life investment. You've actually not made money until you have a home of your own. See, there's a saying that you're not really a man until you have a property to call your own in the world and on earth. At least have a space that belongs to you. Have a portion of the earth that you live in, that you once lived. So don't consider yourself a whale until you've been able to achieve something from the cryptocurrency that's giving you the little profits. Now, one thing you must have realized now is the thing you consider little, those money you consider little, you're not gaining anything. You've now realized that you actually make profit from this thing, but you only lose this profit because you leave the money in the same cryptocurrency space. You leave the money in your wallets. But when you start taking this money back to your bank account, you start investing this money into real life businesses, you realize that you actually make money. Now, from the 16 BNB, you decide, okay, I've learned my lessons. I'm going to take out 12 BNB from this, and I'm going to leave just 4 BNB in my wallet. 12 BNB times 300, with BNB at 300, you have 3,600. You have 3,600. The $3,600, you go deposit it in whatever you are depositing in, plus the initial 8,700 you already have, plus the initial 8.7, you now have let's say you now have 12,300, and you still have 4 BNB in your wallet to play with. And as a wise person, you won't just put in the whole 4 BNB in one project again. You've learned your lessons. And then this time around, you're going to make more research, ensure you do proper research before you invest in another project. And the reason why you now your eyes are open and you now do proper research is, firstly, you now believe that the 4 BNB is all you got. And secondly, you have something that's taking your money from you. And you set a goal. And what you're now working on, what you're now anxious about is completing that goal. What you're now anxious about is seeing yourself achieve that property that you're paying $100,000 for. Okay, I think I'll just go to the next point. In markets like this, in the bear market like this, on red days, especially days where we have terrible news, bad news, like the whole bullshit that's been going on, it's better not to trade. Sometimes the best way to trade is not trading at all. The best way to save your investment is not trading at all. I know sometimes we get itchy, we look for the next news there. Someone is calling a particular project and they say, oh, big names behind this, big team, the team has delivered a lot of exits for us in the past and this and that. Yeah, the team is good, but you need people to ape the projects. In scary days, don't trade. Don't. No matter how itchy you are, no matter how desperate you are, there are days that you shouldn't even trade at all. There are weeks that you shouldn't trade at all. No matter how itchy, no matter how urgent it is, no matter how urgent it is for you to make the money, it's better you see, let me say, you see the 4 BNB you have in your wallet, you see it's there than losing it. Because you need people. You see, you know how crypto works? When people buy, the coin pumps. When people sell, it dumps. There are no two ways to crypto. There are no two ways to tokens. And that's a conversation many people are not willing to have. The more buys, the more the chart pumps. The more sales, the more the chart dumps. And what happens when a project launches on a dead day? What happens when the project launches on a day with so much bad news? Who's going to buy the project? A lot of people are scared already to leave their money in exchanges. And what happens? The project launches. You, as a hunter, as a degen hunter, you see someone call the project, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people call the project, and the next thing is you go aping your 4 BNB into this project on a day where there is so much bad news, on a red day, on a scary day, on a day when they said one big exchange in the world is falling down, on a day where people are saying that it's not safe to leave your funds in exchanges, on a day when your crypto market is crashing, you go ape your funds into a project. And what happens? It's not the dev's fault. It's not the team's fault. Yes, you can blame the dev for launching on that particular day. But then the chart not going up is not the dev's fault. And what happens? Now, because the project was launched on a very bad day, you got into the project dumps because there's no buy pressure. So many people are scared. Whales are scared. Investors are scared. And there are 2 things. If people are not buying, people are selling. If there are no buys, there will be sales. Because there's a way digits think, there's a way people think in the space. What if someone sells before me? What if I don't sell right now? I better sell and save part of my investments. Even if we're still at pre-sale price, no one is buying. Let me quickly sell, and it takes one person to begin a sell, and it turns into a trend. Other people sells, and the chart dumps. But did the dev do marketing? Yes, they did marketing. Did the team push the project? Yes, they pushed the project. But what happened? Because of the bad news in the markets, a lot of people are scared to invest in the project, and you are stuck there. You are no more looking for profit. You are now waiting to get to your entry price, so you sell. And what are the chances of you getting to your entry price? Now, the project never pumped, the project just keeps dumping. It keeps dumping. You didn't take it wise to cut losses. You kept waiting because the dev has been vouched for and it's a very solid project. A lot of people talked about the project, and you decided to wait. The only reason why you should wait is if it's a solid utility project, not an average utility project. Oh, and by the way, BullFlag is a solid utility project. Thank you. Thanks for asking. Um, the only reason why you should wait is if it's a solid utility project. But when you have a project with NFT marketplace, play to earn game, and staking, and what do you call it? Read to earn, shield to earn, and the rest of it, and the project launched in the dead of the market, when the whole market is red, when BNB is at 320, 330, suddenly it's jumping at it's dumping to 260, and you are aping. No, it's wrong. I know sometimes everyone wants to make fast profits, but sometimes is making. Waiting is making sometimes. Waiting is earning sometimes. Waiting is virtue sometimes. You rush in, you rush out. Sometimes, like I said, not trading is the best way to trade. You don't trade on every market. No, it's wrong. You don't just jump because they're talking about the project. You run. When the market is down, when there's so much bad news in the market, fold your hands. Keep your money. It's still your money. The money is still there. Even if there are tendencies for you to make profit on that, they know, wait. Wait and monitor the market. See, on bad days, I never trade. I don't buy anything. I don't. There are weeks where there are times I stay weeks without trading anything. There are times I stay weeks. You won't see me buying a single project. And that's actually the best way to trade. See, follow the trend, follow the market, follow the news. Otherwise, you just keep getting wrecked. Otherwise, you keep getting wrecked. Okay, and there's actually a question that people keep asking, and the question is, should I buy? Should I sell? When's the right time to buy? When's the right time to sell? And the truth is, there's no right time to buy, there's no right time to sell. But you know what I do? Firstly, if it's a solid project, when people are affording the project, that's when I actually buy the project. If I make inquiries, I don't just invest in project, I invest in the utility of the project, and I invest in the team behind the project. I invest in the utility and I invest in the team. I've been holding a project called Velorex. Good day or bad day, I've been holding this project for only God knows how long. For only God knows how long. I've been holding which one? There's one rocket something. Been holding it for a very long time. When is the right time to buy? When is the right time to sell? The right time to sell actually has to do with your greed appetite. How big is your appetite? And greed, if you have a very high greed appetite, it's going to get you wrecked and it's going to destroy you. The only project you should hold for a long time are promising projects. The project you hold for a long time are projects you can see the utility, then you know that this project is going to be accepted by the world at large. Otherwise, you have no reason to hold for long. And there's nothing else that's as strong as your instinct. Your instinct is sometimes always right. Follow your instinct. This thing called trading, your instinct sometimes tells you the truth. When your instinct tells you you've made enough profit, why don't you sell? See, the best thing to do at that point is to sell. And stop chasing green candles. Stop chasing green candles. Because you check a chart, you see the project is doing really, really well. It's pumping, it keeps pumping, it's pumping, 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 and then you FOMO into it. And what happens? You get wrecked. And when you get wrecked, you blame the team, you blame the dev. What are the chances of SafeMoon hitting another all-time high? There are people that bought SafeMoon at all-time high. There are people that bought SafeMoon at all-time high. What are the chances of Shiba Inu hitting another all-time high? There are people that bought Shiba Inu at the top. There are people that bought Shiba Inu at the top. See, I don't buy projects above a certain market cap. But it's left for you to know. I don't want to mention it right now. It's left for you to know if you're going to buy or not. You don't see me buying projects in billions of market caps. No, I won't try. I'm not stupid. You know how profits our profit margins works. You make 2x in the project when the market cap doubles. You make 2x until the market. See, for those people investing in Bitcoin, let's say Bitcoin is at 17K right now. Your $1,000 in Bitcoin is going to be $2,000 at 34K market cap. Not when Bitcoin at 1,000, not when Bitcoin at 10,000. Your 1,000 is going to become 2,000 when Bitcoin jumps from 17K to 34K. Your $10,000 you are putting in SafeMoon at 2 billion market cap is going to be $20,000 when SafeMoon hits 4 billion market cap. So the question you should ask yourself is: are you really here for the profits, or you are here to feed the early buyers? Are you really in this space to make profits? Are you really here to make gain, or you are here to chase the greens? You are here to pump it up. You see, invest in solid utility projects, and every other project, tell me to gamble. And like I said, even if the project is a solid utility project, as long as you are getting into that project for the first time, consider it a gamble. Until the team proves otherwise to you, until the project itself proves otherwise to you, consider every project you are aping in a gamble. And make sure you treat every project as a gamble until you are sure it's not a gamble. And how do you know it's not a gamble? Look at the utility. Until you are sure you're not just investing on the name of the project, but you're investing on the utility behind the project, then it becomes an investment. But every project is a gamble and should be treated as such until it becomes an investment. And what do you, like I said earlier at the beginning of this AMA, what do you do to gambles? You run in and you run out. Run. Make your bag and you run away. Run. You don't hold gambles for long. You don't hold gambles for long. And like I said, until it's considered a solid utility project, consider it a gamble. And as long as it keeps being a gamble, and like I told you, NFTs, the whole NFT project as utility, NFT as the only utility of a project is a gamble. Staking as the only utility of a project is a gamble. Bond mechanism as the only utility of a project is a gamble. Play to end game as the only utility of a project is a gamble. Until they come up with a real solid utility, consider it a gamble. Okay, I'll leave the floor for you guys. That will be all I'm going to talk about today. Till the next time we meet, we'll talk about more. But meanwhile, if you guys got questions or you got contributions, please, I would like you guys to air your views, ask your questions, and I'll respond to you just before we call it today.
Hey Dave.
Hi.
All right, and like I've already said, I love your passion, man, and everything you do in this space. Been following for quite a while.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, and so I've got a question actually, not on the basis of the investor side, just want an advice kind of. So
Okay.
I'm in a place of building a project, and I have a decision to make. I I can use my funds right now to make the utility of the project ready, or market the project and have the utility ready after. So what do you think is the best approach to have utility to have my funds invested in the utility of the project, or market the project on its own, then later on have from the rate of the pre-sale have the utility ready then, or I should have it
Okay.
before I do something else here?
Okay. Firstly, if I'm actually to answer the question from my um, from my own end, I'll tell you I don't invest into projects where I'm sure the devs have no money of their own. When I know the devs have no money, please can you mute yourself? Yeah, thank you. When I know the devs have no money to push the project from their end, I don't invest in the project, because what happens when the marketing wallet is dead and the project still got potential to do well. And the best thing is, as a new guy, as a new dev coming into the space, let me say for the first time, you have to have some funds. Even if you don't have the fund to build the entire utility, you just have the fund to start something that you're going to show to your community. You need funds to build trust. So my advice would be, you need to have funds to start building. You may not have the funds to finish the utility, but you need funds to start building the utility. And then probably the funds you raise from the pre-sale and taxes could actually complete the utility and the rest of the marketing. But as a new guy in the space, you need funds to start. You need funds. See, like I always say, people are moved by what they see. In this space, people are moved by what they see. If you want to get people to invest in your projects, no matter how legit you are, the only way people are going to know you are legit is by what they see. It's not by what you say. You have to prove your worth in the space. And so, in answer to your question, I would say you should actually start by using, if you have your money, start by using your money. If you have your money, start by using your money. Or if you have people supporting you, get them into, raise a private sale from them and start building your utility. If you have
Yes,
people,
yes,
if you have
thank
people supporting you, yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, exactly. I do have, but I was just asking in, getting callers now are very expensive. Venom costs like 8 BNB, so like let's say getting Venom Caesar and all the top callers now would cost a lot, would cost as much as money building the project up. So I've been deciding on what if I should just focus on building the project than getting the callers first.
Okay, you know what? Just
So
shoot me a DM and send me a DM and remind me one. We could actually talk. We could actually talk on phone probably for a few minutes in the next 1 hour.
oh, all right, thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Anyone else with question? I'm reading through the chat right now. And yeah, by the way, the AMA has been recorded and it will be posted on our YouTube channel. And for those that joined late, just take your time to listen to the AMA. Yeah, there were a lot of distractions at the beginning, but you can actually still get everything that was discussed. Um, the part of getting, okay, I'm reading through the chat right now. Yes, of course, it's actually important to take profits out of crypto entirely and take it into your real life investments. Yes. Real estate so expensive where I live. See, real estate is expensive everywhere, but and it's more expensive when you don't begin. When you begin your journey into real estate, you realize that it's not as expensive as you thought. How is not as expensive as you thought? Why? Because you've been able to deposit as little as $500 or $1,000 already. As long as you've been able to deposit something, for every deposit you make, it becomes less expensive. And you are not sure you can actually achieve it until you start depositing, until you start making payments for it. You don't know what you can achieve in life until you start something. You have dreams, but if you are scared to invest in that thing, or you keep thinking of where you're going to get the funds from, you may never achieve that thing. Because you know why? Because the funds will always come. As long as you don't keep all your funds in cryptocurrency, it helps you to invest. It helps you to trade more carefully. It helps you to make better research and invest in the right projects. And as long as you keep taking your fund out to real life investment, you keep having more money to invest in that thing. That's the truth. So real estate, is it expensive? Yes. But is it achievable? Yes, it is achievable. Yes, you do. You need to start taking out your capital and take it back to your bank. Take it to your bank. Take out your capital, take out your profits. Always take your profit to your bank. Don't leave your cryptocurrency in your cryptocurrency wallet. Don't trade your crypto to don't make profit in crypto to trade crypto. No. That's where we all get it wrong. And that's I used to do that at the beginning. And at the time where I got hacked, I learned a lot when I got hacked then, I I used to leave so much money in my crypto. As a matter of fact, I left everything. You understand? I only take out, yeah, I already started investing from my crypto long ago. Yeah. So I just take out the little funds and I don't go all in. But this time around, what I do, if I make profits, I go all, I make sure I always have something doing. I always have something doing as I'm finishing this thing, I'm beginning another thing immediately. And that's the only way, that's the only way you can actually account for the profit you make. The only way you can account for the profit you make is for you to actually see where your profit is going. Okay, let me keep reading the charts. And another thing is before you start, when you start making profit, when you start making money, in as much as you are tempted to start sharing that money around your friends and family, make sure you have something on ground. Because when you lose the money, most of these guys will not be there. See, the only thing you're going to get when you give money to friends and family in the initial stage is praises. I'm talking to you as a philanthropist. I'm one guy that gives a lot to people, and I'm not bragging about it. But before you give, make sure you have something on ground. You may be so anxious. Oh, you've made money. I've never made this kind of money before. Let me quickly do this, or let me quickly buy a car. Let me quickly buy this for mom to please mom. Let me quickly buy this for dad to please dad. Let me quickly give this. Oh, my brother has been owing $10,000, $20,000 to this company for a very long time. Let me quickly clear the debt for him. You're going to get praises from your family. You're going to get praises from your friends. They're going to post you on the status. This guy did that. But what happens when the fund is no longer coming? And at that point, you already have high expectations. Everyone is expecting you to bring this to the family. Everyone is expecting you to do this. See, before you do anything, make sure you've done something tangible for yourself. Put yourself first in everything. Don't just make your first money and spend the money on this one. Spend the money to solve issues. No, the best way to solve issues is by investing. The profits you're going to make from your investment could actually solve all the issues at a go. So before you solve family issues, make sure you've invested in yourself. Make sure you've invested in something real life. Make sure you've invested in something big enough to solve the family issues. You understand? Okay, my big issue is I don't really see my capital moving too much. So then I'm like, shit, if I take out my initial capital, I won't make X's a certain amount more. No, that's the thing. See, what happens is you take out your initial capital. What made you how did you make the profit to term that your initial capital? If you could make profit from your first capital, you can actually make profits from the profit you left behind. Take out your initial capital. Make sure, see, it helps you to be less emotional. It helps you to be a less emotional trader. Why? Because you are no longer trading with your capital, with your hard-earned money, with the money you got from your regular jobs. You've taken that away and you kept that into your bank account. You are now trading from um you are now trading from the profit you've made. You understand? Okay, I'm reading. I want to make life-changing money and make a plan with it. Yeah. Okay. No, the first while you want to make a life-changing money and make a plan with it. No, you have to make a plan. The plan is going to help you make the life-changing money. Otherwise, you keep recycling from rocks to normal projects, rocks to honeypots. Otherwise, so you actually have to make a plan before you start anything. Let me see other names from there delivering. Okay, today I'm involved in business acquisitions. Crypto is a great way to make that 10% required for an SBA loan. Yes, I plan to double in real estate soon. Yeah, that's right, crypto leverage. And another thing is you mustn't actually go into real estate. Like I think I mentioned it one time, you know, you can actually you can actually buy used cars or faulty cars or accidented cars, refurbish them, and you can actually ship them to third world countries. And you make money. Start a very little company with it. And you start making bags. The little thing you think you're making, see, it takes 1 and 1 to make 2. It takes 2 and 2 to make 4. For every one you get, for every one you make, it turns to 2. For every other one you make, it turns to 3. For every other one you make, it turns to 4. See, cryptocurrency, in the long run, cryptocurrency should be the distraction, not your real life business. At the beginning, your real life business is your distraction to cryptocurrency, it distracts you. But in the long run, cryptocurrency should be the distraction. Have a solid investment, solid enough to make cryptocurrency your distraction. What I mean is, just as I explained, have something you're getting invested into. Just imagine finishing, or just imagine having from cryptocurrency has been able to yield you a very solid investment, and you start employing staff in your company, and you get busy real life, and you get busy, and you have a company worth hundreds of thousands, even millions that you generate, that you build from cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency now becomes a distraction because now you just look at it, you now invest in only solid projects. You're not investing just long-term projects. Okay, let me keep reading the chats. Thank you, that guy. Thank you again. I'm gonna feel. Yeah, certainly. I'm looking forward to seeing this great community project. Yeah, BullFlag will certainly, BullFlag. I'm very certain. I'm very certain BullFlag is going to do exceedingly well. I'm very, very certain of that, and that's one reason why I know a lot of people are anxious for the launch. A lot of people want to make 1 or 2 X's, but trust me, it's better to protect you than see. I showed you the funds in the marketing wallet the other day, almost around $100,000, and we can actually push the markets into whatever heights. But then you need people to buy your projects. You don't do anything in the dying markets. That's one mistake. You don't do anything in the dying markets. And as someone experienced in this thing called cryptocurrency, I believe I'm more experienced than some people here. I know some people here are actually more experienced than I am. I'm more experienced than some of you, and it's my responsibility to protect you. It should be my responsibility to protect you. How? By telling you the truth, by letting you know that it's wrong. See, we could have launched on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, but it's wrong. Do you see? Let me tell you one thing. It's extremely stressful being a dev. And if there's one guy that wants to launch very quick, it's me. It's actually very stressful. It's actually extremely draining. It's extremely stressful. It takes a huge part of your life. Because as soon as you're working on the project, until the project launches and until the project stabilizes, you keep working. Morning, afternoon, night, keep responding to messages. You keep like, and then you remember there are people you're supposed to have sent some funds for this, for marketing, for partnership, for this, for that, for this, for that. It's draining. So postponing launch is actually worse for me. And it's actually worse on me. But is it the right thing to do? Yes, postponing launch is the right thing to do. Why? Because I care about the community. And I didn't just postpone launch. I made you guys understand the reasons why launch should be postponed. And there was a poll where you guys voted, and someone said the poll was voted. No, it's wrong. How will I vote a poll? The choice was left for you guys to decide, to make the choice. Do you want the launch on Tuesday 15th, or you want the launch on a later date? It's not about launching the project. It's about the project being successful. It's about the project doing well. It's about you guys making profits. It's about everyone making money. It's about everyone making life-changing money. I'm the one telling you guys about investments. Isn't it good that my project yields you enough profits to start real life investments, just in case you've not started one? If you've started an investment, started investing in something, isn't it good that my project yields you enough money to continue your investments or to clear off your loans, your investment loans? But how can we achieve that when we rush a launch in a bad market? Yeah. Okay, let me read. As a new guy in this game, like joining the crypto world for the first time, how do someone recognize a project with great potential? What and what should people check before? Okay, I think this is something I will be discussing in our next class. So let's call it class. In our next class, I will be discussing how to recognize good projects and the kind of project you should run away from, the kind of devs you should run away from. We'll be discussing this in our next class, how to recognize good projects, and we'll discuss other things as well. Okay. Let me see. Okay, I'm reading the chat to see if there are more questions. Okay, I see there are no more questions. Let me see. And please, guys, if you got questions, please ask your question just before we call it today. But meanwhile, the AMA has been recorded. The AMA has been recorded, and the record is going to be posted on our YouTube channel. Yuri is going to upload the AMA to our YouTube channel, and you guys will be able to listen to the AMA shortly, probably in an hour or 2 hours, if Yuri is available. I think it's midnight where he is right now, but I will see that he um okay, I'll see that he uploads it if he hasn't gone to bed. So the AMA will be available. This section will be available in the next 1 hour or 2 hours. Yeah. All right. So if there are no more questions, thank you very much, everyone, for attending this interactive section. And I hope you guys have gained 1 or 2 lessons. And our next class, try to attend, and we will. Okay, Yuri is online. Yuri, if you are here, please, you will. Okay, let me just tag him. Okay, yes, answer is going to upload it. All right. Thank you very much,
Hello,
everyone, for attending. Hi. Yeah.
thank you very much. I know you're about to round up this particular AMA. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for everything you do for us and all you are still doing. And I have like a suggestion. I know you are kind of very busy with the forthcoming project and every other thing, but I've kind of seen your setup during your AMAs, and it's actually really nice. Personally, I feel you have a lot to teach, not just we in this community, a lot of people out there about cryptocurrency. I don't know if in your busy schedule you can just find out time to create like a personal YouTube channel for yourself where you can be uploading videos, even if it's weekly, and just nuggets on crypto generally, and just
Yeah.
updating it once you're free. Because I think
Yeah.
there's a community out there that will need information like that from you, and you have a nice setup in your house where you can start uploading videos like that and turn it to
Yeah.
another
Very,
stream.
very, very true. Yeah. Yeah. I actually plan to make BullFlag YouTube channel, both my and our official YouTube channel. Yes. Yeah, I love what you said, and very, very true. That's one reason why, you know, like I said, I'm actually starting something very big on my Instagram very soon. I'm starting an awareness on my Instagram, and I will be uploading a lot of I'll actually be doing a lot of teachings, a lot of masterclass, and uploading everything on YouTube. And the classes will absolutely be free. And I'm actually doing this based on where I am right now. There's an election coming, and a lot of people are willing to sell their votes for as little as half a cent, for as little as less than what, for as little as $1, for as little as $10, for as little as $5. Yeah,
Yeah, I understand.
yeah. So I believe these people are willing to learn cryptocurrency, and if I can teach them cryptocurrency for free, it should actually be able to it should give them reasons why they should make the right choice. Yeah, she gives them reasons why they should make the right choice. And I won't just be limiting it to where I'm actually going to be spreading it all around the world. So, and it's going to be absolutely free, and I won't be taking money for anyone to trade. So if anyone tells you Dave asked you for money to trade for you, it's a scam. It's going to be, because very soon that's what we're going to be seeing. People